I got like my favorites when we played OG, red and blue, green, yellow,
Red and
colors.
yellow, black and white, they are precious in his sight. Okay, tangent again. Sorry.
Here we go.
Okay.
My son, that is all he wants. He just begs that song to be played and sing on a loop constantly, so it's just on a loop in my head. That was the tangent. Just, Jesus loves the little children. Yeah. If you ever want to have your mind blown, look up the original hymn lyrics to that. It's a lot darker than like the chorus that we all just sing.
Most nursery rhymes are.
Yeah.
That's true.
Songs.
Anyway, continue about the colors of the original. Maybe I'll edit this out. Sorry.
No, you're good. Keep it in.
Oh no.
Or mix it into like preamble somewhere or something.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Game Boys. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Dolan Malma.
Greetings.
And Christian.
Hello.
Hello. Unfortunately, we have some an announcement brought to you by the Sad Diglett Corporation that we are done with Pokemon.
I give up.
Prematurely.
If you too suffer from premature Pokemon quitting, consult your Nurse Joy.
The spark in our eyes vanished as we started playing through Gen 4. The memories and the nostalgia were not enough to carry us through. Some of us are devastated. Maybe. I can only speak for myself so far. I'm devastated slightly.
Wait, are you
devastated? This was...
Are you devastated that it wasn't as good as you remembered, or are you devastated that we're quitting?
Probably mostly the first point, but probably a little bit of the second point.
Oh.
Because the second point's tied to the first point for me, because I still really want it to be as good as I remember. Because it was one of the games I played the most as a kid, and then here we go, it starts. Like, none of us want to play the game. Well, I don't even want to play the game.
What's interesting... And this isn't in any of the outlines. I'm immediately going off course, like you said. But like, is he was like, you digress so much. Yeah. So on that digression point, I think all of us, or at least Austin, you and I, if someone said, I want to start Pokemon, out of the ones you've played, what do you recommend? I think we'd still both say Platinum. I don't think it's that we're saying Platinum is so bad that it is like such a downgrade from the rest of the series. I think it is. These games are so dang similar that we're just fed up with the series as a whole, not with Platinum in particular. I think Platinum was just the breaking point for us, or at least it was for me.
Yeah. What about you, Christian? What was your breaking point, if you had one?
I would agree that it was just there wasn't enough change between each game. Like, they were just so similar that it just felt like we were restarting the same game over and over again with like a light facelift. Like, honestly, if we hadn't, like, if we had either taken a longer break before starting Platinum, I think we all would have finished it and been like, yeah, thumbs up, best Pokemon game we've played yet so far. There was a lot of features that I was like, oh, that's like, I could see this being fun, but at this current state, I'm just not enjoying it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, maybe we should revisit Platinum in 2030 or something like that.
2030. Okay.
I don't know. But I think we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe there will be another lawsuit between now and then.
Or a few.
Yeah.
So, I mean, breaking point for me was very similar. What it ended up becoming at a certain point was I started really high. I was really looking forward to it. It's like, I finally get to use my favorite Pokemon of all the generations. I love Piplup. Piplup's great. and I'm enjoying some of the nostalgia wave. And at a certain point, it's just like, as I start thinking about all the other Pokemon games, I'm just like, this is starting to feel like a job at this point. It's like the same thing. I'm clocking in my 9 to 5 Pokemon shift as I sit there and do the same stuff, run around, do some battles, run around, do some grinding, maybe beat a gym, which is basically just sending the boss the email of my comparison here. And it's like, what is fundamentally different other than different PNGs in front of me? Not too much. And it's gotten really, really tiring that I wanted greener pastures.
I think that's part of the problem. I think there's two related problems. One is that we're not playing them in their cultural context. I know we didn't play them originally in the cultural context, but like I do think there's something to be said for like other kids at school or like at the whatever, you know. Like I remember we went on a vacation randomly on a cruise ship, the only one like I went in my life. It was actually awful mostly. But like I was on there and I met a kid who's like, I've got a spare Charizard. Do you want it? And we just and I had like a Darkrai or something and we traded. And like that doesn't exist for not the newer games it does, but you're not even randomly going to run into someone who's like still playing Platinum for the most part, right? So we are definitely taking them out of their cultural context. The other thing is we're podcasting. Maybe we're not good at it, but we're dissecting and editorializing and talking about these games and trying to come up with interesting things to say about them. And when it's the same game 5 times in a row, that might actually not be that unfun to play. If it's like, how many times have we played Mario games? They're pretty much the same thing over and over again. I don't get bored of Mario games, right? I'll play through the whole Mario series and have a fun time. But if you ask me to write what is effectively a 3-hour essay on each one back to back to back about all like what's different about this one, I might blow my brains out, which is a little bit how I feel about when we get to the 5th in a row, 5 in 3 years or less, 5 in like 2.5 years of Pokemon.
Yeah.
So the breaking point for me was when I lost my data and I realized I was going to have to repeat about only 3 hours, but about 3 hours of work of what already felt like a repeat of a repeat of a repeat. And I was like, I'm done. You guys don't have to quit, but I'm not finishing this one, which I feel like was the domino that killed it.
Yeah. So, I mean, thinking on to like, is there anything that we could have done to maybe prevent this kind of fatigue? I was thinking about what Christian said and about maybe giving it a longer time period. I've been thinking about that just for a few minutes here, and I'm doubting if that would actually be enough for me at this case, because I feel like even if you take a break from your job, you come back and it's still your job. Would Pokemon really recapture that magic if you just don't play it for a long period of time? Or is it the fact that I have now played a whole bunch of it and in multiple different variants of it, and now I just have that knowledge that it's just the same game with different PNGs? Will that always return and drag me down? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm curious to test it.
Do you think our challenges made it less fun, potentially? Were we not playing with Childlike Wonder and we should have just grabbed the Mons that felt like fun, even if it was like the same 5 everyone always picks or whatever?
Maybe, if for my personal case, my quote-unquote challenge wasn't as different as how I normally played it.
Yeah.
I tried to mix up my team a little bit, but like while being restricted to 4 instead of 5, usually in my teams, 2 of my 6 team Pokemon that I would use were not heavily invested.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I did the Elite Four and Cynthia at the end, I didn't have HM Slides at that point. But I had 4 or 3 like main Pokemon that I really cared about and invested in, mainly just my one chosen one, but with friends kind of thing is how I played. So I don't think for me it would have made much difference because it's very similar to how I played when I was a kid. What about you, Chris?
Are you waiting for me to say something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt. I don't think the challenge. Well, you looked like you were about to say something, and I didn't want us both talking over each other. Yeah, that's true. Oh well. Here's what I think, everybody. I don't think the challenge impacted me a ton because at least, like, this gen was entirely new for me, so it wasn't. I would have ended up picking a whole new team anyway. I think on like the repeats, like when we did like
Gen 2.
Like Gen 2, and when we did like Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah.
With those, I think those increased my fatigue because I got like my favorites when we played OG, red and blue, green, yellow.
Red,
colors.
yellow, black, and white, they are precious in his sight. Okay, tangent again, sorry.
Here we go.
Okay.
My son, that is all he wants. He just begs that song to be played and sing on a loop constantly, so it's just on the loop in my head. That was the tangent. Just, Jesus loves the little children. Yeah. If you ever wanna have your mind blown, look up the original hymn lyrics to that. It's a lot darker than like the chorus that we all just sing.
Most nursery rhymes are.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Songs.
Anyway, continue about the colors of the original. Maybe I'll edit this out. Sorry.
No, you're good. Keep it in.
Oh no.
Or mix it into like preamble somewhere or something. I just think that the other generations added to my fatigue in terms of my challenge, but I don't think the challenge really affected this game for me much. Because again, these were all new Pokemon. I had honestly, when I was going through like my trusty little book and picking my team, I had fun looking up all of the new Pokemon that I wasn't familiar with. Like I enjoyed that, but then when you get into the actual gameplay of it, it's like press A, press it again. No, I don't want to learn this move that does not cause damage. Keep moving forward.
I mean, okay, but like counterpoint, we all just played 999, which is effectively just tap the screen. And I don't know that we love it, but we didn't hate it so much that we quit so far.
My answer to that, personally, would be that there is a lot of story substance, and there are actual like thinking puzzles involved into it. When you're doing your button mashing in Pokemon, what is like the story that you're going for? At this point, there's not a lot of substance there. I want to collect the shinies, and there sure is this weird people doing stuff. Yeah, I'm hooked. It's like it's the same story.
Yeah.
Again and again and again, just with different names.
Yeah.
So that's why, at least in our comparison with League 999, while the gameplay is simpler in 999, it's far more engaging.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
point.
Plus, with 999, we haven't played that 4 times already.
True. But we'll get to that when we talk about 999.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Spoilers. But, yeah, so the last thing we're just going to go ahead and go over for this one is our ideas of if we'll come back to it, if we'll either come back where we are, or if there's a different Pokemon game in the future that we might be willing to try instead. The Legends games, potentially.
I mean, the Legends games are the biggest, like, the ones, aside from completionist, like, ideals of, like, I just want to beat the whole series. Yeah, like, doing the Legends is something I could almost see myself like, but the problem is, I'm just gonna say it frankly, I from what I've seen of the gameplay, why play Pokemon games when Palworld exists, the Legends games at least, and I think Palworld is way more interesting, frankly. If we were to come back like, do Pokemon, yeah, maybe Pokemon will get better, but nothing I'm seeing in the Legends games looks more interesting to me than Palworld. I don't even think Palworld's a miracle great game, it's just more fun in my opinion, so yeah.
Is Palworld going to continue, though?
Yes.
Like, because from the lawsuit and everything, at least from what I've heard, it sounds like Pokemon is now patenting summoning out of a sphere, summoning creatures to fight other creatures in general, and riding on your creature.
Those aren't going to last because there's a saying amongst lawyers I've heard, which is like, you know, patents are validated in court, you know, basically, which is like they get handed all the time, but it's got to survive scrutiny. And Japan law is very different, but a lot of this is being tried in America. These are American patents. Maybe you can do the summoning in a sphere. I think that's stupid, but maybe. You're not going to prove that Pokemon owns the
cube.
Yeah, but then they'll just change it to a cube, but you're not going to win the very broad ones, because it's like the little small detailed ones, like, oh, this is like a Pokeball. They'll change it. They've already proven, you can't summon your creature with a Pokeball, it just teleports beside you now. They're willing to change that. But the big stuff that would actually break them, like having monsters that fight other monsters, Pokemon's not going to win that. There have been games for decades.
Then necromancers are now copyright struck.
Yeah, necromancers are owned by Nintendo. Or like riding horses is owned by Nintendo. Like, come on, dude. They're not gonna
Red Dead Redemption.
So yeah. So like the little details that maybe they can win, Palworld is gonna just change, and the bigger ones that would actually make them fundamentally shut down or change the game, they're not gonna win. So Palworld in some form is going to exist. They just launched 1.0. They have deals with Terraria. You know, like, this is not a game or a company that's, like, shrinking back and dying. They're clearly... They just announced a new game to kind of spit on Nintendo and Animal Crossing. So, like...
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just spitting on Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
At least, it looked like to me, like, basically 2 days after they announced the Pokemon Animal Crossing, where you play as a Ditto, like, 2 days later, I don't even remember what Paltopia or whatever the game is called.
Pal Farm?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna go try to get patents on that.
Yeah. So
I don't even remember how we got here.
Well, the point is, could Pokemon win us over? And my thought is, even the interesting stuff that they're doing, I think is being done better elsewhere. Is how we got here. Like, even their spin-off games, their puzzle games, they're better puzzle games. They're mystery dungeon games. They're better mystery dungeon games. You know, anything Pokemon is doing well, I think can be found better elsewhere. So I'm not super inclined to come back. I really don't want to give them my money, my time, or my attention until such a time that they actually provide a product worth my money, time, and attention. I've been thoroughly soured on it at this point. I really think it was a fun idea. They had one good idea, and they have milked that one good idea for coming up on 3 decades now. And until they get a second idea, I'm going to hold back. What about y'all, though?
I could see us maybe trying it again when the Switch 8 comes out. I feel like at that point they'll have added some kind of a new mechanic. At least one.
So you want to come back at a later gen, is what I'm hearing.
I'd be open to it. Like, even in spite of the fatigue that we feel, like, Pokemon still is like a nostalgia thing for me. Like, it still like has a special place in my heart. So I mean, I fully anticipate showing Pokemon to my kids at some point.
That's fair.
So maybe that's the only way that I come back to it, but if with how things are going, I don't think I'm gonna play like a new Pokemon game anytime soon, because they keep on, like, there's the Switch 2, and then it's like gonna be $100 to get the game after you get the system and all of that. So like, it's just like things are getting so expensive with it.
It's a whole new bag of worms right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not super happy with Nintendo. I guess as part of it also is like, yeah, is it worth the trouble to get all the new shiny thing to play the same game again?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, yeah.
Alright. But yeah, so maybe we'll come back, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll do Palworld. But either way, Pokemon has ended. We tried, guys, we tried. We're sorry. We have more interesting things on the way, though. So, I do appreciate you listening to this announcement. Look forward to the amazing things to come. I don't know when this will come out and what's in the agenda, but you already heard us maybe mention 999, so 999 might be right around the corner.
Probably.
Hope you all enjoy. My name was Austin.
I'm Dolan.
And I'm Diglett.
Diglett ain't Christian.
If there's one good thing that's come out of this, it's the Diglett memes.
The Diglett memes, just for everyone listening, will not stop.
This is true.
Just because we're done with Pokemon does not mean we're done with Diglett.
Diglett's not done with us. All right.
Oh, man.
All right.
Cool. Don't shut it off. Let it keep going.
Okay.
hang on.
Keep.
That's what I was...
No!
It gave me like 5 pop-ups before.